Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So based on the last video that I made, 515 and the gear score and stash space, I got a few ideas just, kind of thinking about that video and reading, comments and just trying to see ways that Massive can revitalize the game and infuse some lifeblood into it. Now, a lot of people are, right now have completed a lot in the game currently. There are not a lot of activities to do other than your tidal basin, invasion or your invasion rotations for the week, which, if I'm going to be honest with you guys right now, I'm not even playing that because I have my build. I have everything that I need, and I'm full on, stash space. Even my second character is not up to level 30, but, she's already full with a lot of items as well. So I'm just sitting here waiting. I mean, I could get in and farm, but there's not a lot of interest right now to do so. But there are some things that I'm really interested in that I feel like will kind of bring some more life into the game. And one of them is something I mentioned in the video that I did yesterday, which is, earning stash space by playing the game. If we're going to go into the game right now to play the game, I know loot is rewarding enough, but there has to be, more of an incentive, I believe, in order to bring players to come back more frequently, other than the tidal basin updates, other than, other things. So the first thing is just make it possible. If Massive can make it possible for us to be able to get stash items when we play and engage the game, at a higher rate. So if you go in there, you play or maybe complete a project, then, I think you should be able to get at least maybe 3, 4, 5 stash spaces and even up to a specific number. If somebody got 500 stash space and they get confused as to what they're going to do, well, it's them. It's their account. It's on their own character. So I don't think that should be, a problem for, that person, because I don't know how much it's going to be cost effective or how much it's going to cost, but I think it's something that the community would like to see. Some people are even saying that they don't want to play to get it. They just want the stash space, and that should be given to us. I say, okay, man, either way, they can use that as leverage to get players to come in and play the game. The second thing that they can do to revitalize the game is to add talent to the game. And, I think this might be a cheap and easy way to go, because right now, I know the developers are very, in a sense, they try to be very cautious in adding new, abilities in the game. But I think if they were to add maybe one weapon talent in a month and then add another weapon talent the next month and kind of create a 12-month cycle before the year 2 content comes out, and add a talent here and there that can appear on your weapons and not even tell us what talents they are. So they can do a state of the game and say, hey, we have added a new talent to the game that you would be, very interested in farming. We're not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to start dropping, and you're going to have to find out what weapons this talent drops on or whatever. That will give people kind of an interest to say, I wonder if this talent is probably going to be better than what I have, and then make people go back in, farm, and if they like the talent, which I think they have to make it a talent that's worthwhile, then people can start restructuring their build. It could be a weapon handling talent. It could be a damage dealing talent. It could be a passive talent that does something quite unique and cool that's currently not in the game right now. And so I think this is going to be a good incentive. People are going to go in there, people are going to play. In order to be able to get these talents. Imagine having, a P416, and that this talent is probably going to change the game for your assault rifle, or it's going to make your SMG or LMG better. And you're like, whoa, I got to go in there and I got to go find this, this item now. And, people are interested. It's going to bring people back into the game. It's going to make people that are already farming feel that sense of, pride in getting their items and making sure that they're able to get this new so-called talent if it works out for them. So this is just an idea. That's just weapon talents. They can also do the same thing with gear talents as well. They can get some items in our brand sets, and this can make it very, very appealing to a lot of folk. Imagine adding a talent that we've never seen in the loot pool over time, and just saying, oh, there's a new talent in the loot pool, by the way. After this next maintenance update, they throw it out there and it starts to drop on different gear, and now now everyone's like, oh, whoa, I got to get the new and best thing. And so this is, I think, a way that they can actually pull people to continue to play the game, and even get people to pick up the game that have dropped the games after they've completed everything, 4 characters. Some people are done. They're already 500 gear score. They've done everything. And at that point, you want to be able to keep them playing. And that's another idea. Another thing that I think they can do, another idea, is to actually bring in the missing brand sets and just be willing to take the risk as to what's going to happen with that. So if you notice, some of the brand sets don't have all 6 pieces. Some of them have all 6 pieces. I think there are only 2 that have all 6 pieces, and the developers have not necessarily mentioned why. Some people have kind of hypothesized and said it might be overpowered and all that stuff, but I say go for it. I mean, overpowered is not a big deal in PvE. Like, no one is complaining. The NPCs don't sit down on forums and say, you know what, these agents, they keep shooting us, man. They keep melting us. You know, they don't complain and say we can't even heal. You know, it's crazy. They do so much damage, and you know, or they don't complain and say, man, they have stopped, drop, and roll when they're not complaining that anybody's shooting them. You know, they're not whining and crying to the developers. And so I think that's the great thing about being strong enough. When you get to end game, you gotta be strong enough, and I think the developers need to just go for it. Some gear sets don't have specific items. I cannot mention, I don't know them off the top of my head, but you know, it might be, you know, something where the developers are looking towards. I haven't seen an Overlord backpack. I know that for sure. I have not seen a Sokolov. Is it Sokolov? No, it's the other. It's a Petrov. I've never seen a Petrov knee pad, and I don't think there are in the game. And if there is, somebody let me know. And there's also the Y'all gear set that's very rare. I mean, it's just one of those gear sets that's kind of rare. And I think the developers can actually infuse more of that into the loot pool, because a lot of people that get it, they get it in the Dark Zone. I think one time I saw it for sale at a vendor when I was like level 6 with my second character. I saw it at a vendor. That's why I was like, oh, there's another gear set in this game. But I've never seen it in my main character drop anywhere in the light zone. It's a very hard find, and it's not even that amazing, even as it is. But you know, it is what it is, and I think they can do that. They can add those missing items for the brand sets, and this is going to really change the game. And then another thing they can do is they can design some exotics. Now, I said I was going to share just a few of these ideas, but the exotics seem to have changed the game, and not exotics that are in the random loot pool. And they don't have to add the exotics immediately. With the talents and with the items, I think they can go ahead and actually start implementing those immediately. But with the exotic weapons, I think they can take their time and design an exotic weapon, like, you know, maybe every 2 months or however many, you know, weeks or whatever their release cycles are, and bring in exotic weapons that require a specific farming route. So if the exotic weapon is actually pretty good, like the Chatterbox, you have to build it by getting parts from specific places. They can do the same thing with, you know, more exotic weapons. You know, I know they have an exotic weapon right now for almost every weapon class. Almost, I said. There isn't an exotic for the rifle class. So that's one thing that they can bring. And then they can also bring another exotic for the AR class. I mean, other than the ones that they already have that are based on RNG, they can bring others that you can build yourself. These are just some of my ideas, and I think Massive can implement these things to keep the game fresh and going. One of the mistakes that they can make is thinking that the life cycle of this game is going to span like the Division 1. I don't think so. I think players are moving on faster away from this game because there are other games out there right now. And then, you know, once the Q4 game releases come out, if they don't have anything fresh to drop, which I think they're holding off on a lot of their content for, you know, for that time, but I think they need to keep their player base strong so that at that time, when more games are being released and they're dropping their fresh content, they're going to be able to still leverage a lot more players than they already have. Because if they let the game kind of go stale without much infusion of new things for people to farm for, they may not be able to see some really solid numbers, and they may miss out on the opportunity for growth. Either way, they can do whatever they want, but these are just my ideas to kind of help, you know, bring the game up to an interesting place, and I just wanted to share them with you guys. So share your ideas in the comment section. Let me know if you have any ideas for, that Massive can actually do to make the game more interesting and, kind of help the audience to continue to play. And I guess that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and I guess I will see you in my next video. Peace.